Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron White. I'm an area director at Illinois Wesleyan University.
And I'm Larry Pierce, and I'm a residence director here at Illinois Wesleyan University.
In this video, we're going to cover the residential life policies. It is still your responsibility to be familiar with the Student Code of Conduct, IWU, and the residential life policies.
And again, this is just a brief overview of everything.
Check in and check out. Students will check in and out of the halls with staff members. They will be responsible for their room and exterior door keys, and sometimes suite keys if you stay in a suite living residence hall. They must complete an RCR room condition report within 1 week of check-in. Failure to check out with a staff, whether during the year or at the end of the semester, will result in an improper charge of $25. Also, improper checkouts can take place any place during the semester as well. Not only the beginning and the end, but if a resident is moving to another hall mid-semester, they still must go to the proper checkout procedures or be charged $25 improper checkout fee.
And the reason we do this is to track the keys and damages. So we will review the fees for lost keys and lockouts later on at the end of the school year or semester, depending on when the residents leave. And the RCR is the damage accountability upon checkout. So the residents know what they're assigning to when they check out and when they check in.
Compliance with the law and residential life staff. Students must follow local, state, and federal statutes. Students must respond to reasonable requests from staff members.
And the reason for this is because staff members are charged with maintaining community standards and things of that nature.
The next topic will be drugs. Students must comply with federal and state drug laws.
And that is because we must enforce the drug laws or we are at risk of losing our federal financial assistance.
The next section is on electrical equipment and appliances. Open heating elements are prohibited. You will be provided with a partial list of banned items later in this PowerPoint, in this video. Items installed in students' rooms without permission are prohibited and subject to a $50 per day fine per item. Power strips and surge protectors must be 14 gauge plus.
And the reason for not having an open heating element is because your room is small and you have small items in your room as well, so it may fall into the open heating, and that increases the risk of fire. So all of these things here are just to reduce your risk of fire.
Fire safety. Students cannot tamper with fire alarms or equipment. Students must evacuate the halls anytime an alarm sounds. Anything that may create a safety fire hazard is prohibited in the halls. Fireworks and explosives, including gasoline, kerosene, lighter fluids, are also forbidden.
To elaborate further, tampering with any fire equipment is a felony, and anytime you hear the fire alarm go off at all, you must assume that it's real, and you are required by law to exit the building to minimize your risk of fire or serious injury.
The next section is furniture and damages. Students cannot modify their furniture or room. Students cannot bring their own beds, constructed furniture, or lofts. Furniture may not be removed from the lounges or student rooms. Students may be charged for damages at checkout or for excessive cleaning if needed.
And the reason for this is it all goes back to that last slide, is fire safety. So your equipment may not be up to code, and also you may be blocking certain access points to the residence hall or your room.
The next section is on guests. Both roommates must be in agreement with the number, frequency, and hours of guests. A guest may stay on campus for up to 3 consecutive nights. Students are responsible for the actions of their guests and must escort guests at all times in the residence hall. Guests must obey IWU and the residential life policies.
And this is because everyone in a residence hall has the right to sleep, study, and be free of distractions. So if your guests are causing problems, your roommate has the right to say they don't agree to your guests staying at this certain hour or this certain day. And it's also just because we want the guests to be escorted. So if they are unescorted in a hall and something is damaged, then that host is the one that should be held responsible because the guests are not residents or people living on campus. So that means that we can't hold them responsible. So we will hold the host responsible.
The next topic will be insurance coverage. IWU does not cover students' personal belongings unless IWU is negligent for the loss of personal property. Students should carry their own insurance coverage for their personal belongings. In regards to insurance coverage, students will likely remain under coverage from their family's current homeowners insurance or renters insurance policies. Please check with your family in regards to your personal belongings being covered under their current insurance coverage policies. The next topic will be keys and lock fees. Room keys are $35. Suite keys are $45. Exterior door keys are $100. Unapproved locking mechanisms are $50 per day install. Lockout fees is $5. If they are not paid within 2 weeks of the actual lockout, the charge will be $7.50. Improper possession, duplication, or use of keys is prohibited. The reason for locking mechanisms that you bring yourself are not allowed because in case of emergencies, residential life or emergency people need to be able to get into the halls, and if you got your own personal lock set on there, or if a student have their own personal lock, they will not be able to access that room, which creates trouble.
And all of these keys and the charges, everything is all for the labor and installation charges. So if you're worried about these numbers, that's how much it costs to record the doors and pay for labor and get the new keys ordered and everything.
The next topic is kitchens. Students must remain in or near the kitchen when cooking. Students must clean up after each use. Students can keep food in the common areas, but it is stored at their own risk.
Also, pots and pans and other cleaning equipment, all that can be found at your hall desk or some hall desk. It can be checked out with their student ID.
Next topic, networks. Personal wireless networks are not allowed.
And this is because it may tamper or mess with the current wireless network that is set up and it slows down your Wi Fi. And we don't want that. We love internet and we want our Wi Fi fast.
Next topic is occupancy during breaks. Students must vacate the halls during breaks and at the end of terms. The only reason students are approved to stay during a break are they live more than 450 miles away, that's their permanent address, essential on-campus job, they're involved in music, theater, rehearsal, or performance during that break, they have athletic practice or competition, or another academic commitment. Also, students are only allowed to stay for approved reasons outside of those listed above by the RD of that hall. They must have permission from the RD of that hall if they do not fall into one of those reasons listed above. Any other time a student is approved to arrive early, stay late, this is not an IWU commitment. He or she will be charged $25 per night, meaning if it's not one of those listed above or they're not approved by the RD of that hall, every night they're staying on campus that they haven't moved out or they want to come back early, they're going to be charged $25 per night.
Even if they don't have a reason and they just want to stay, we will not turn them away, but they will be paying $25 for each night that they are there.
Pets. Only fish are allowed as pets in the residence halls.
And this is because, for obvious reasons, really, students have allergies and they may be allergic to cats, dogs, what have you. So only fish are allowed in the residence halls.
Posting and soliciting. Materials to be posted in the halls are governed by the campus posting policy found online as part of the student handbook. The Office of the Dean of Students coordinates postings on campus. Door-to-door contact is not allowed in the residence halls.
And this is because students should not have to be bothered with sales or solicitations in other halls and things like that. So if you don't want to be bothered, you shouldn't have to be bothered.
Prohibited items. Please take a minute to review some of the prohibited items. Quiet hours. Quiet hours, Sunday through Thursday, is from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. Quiet hours, Friday and Saturday, is from 11 p.m. to 10 a.m. If a persistent noise exists, example could be music or an unattended alarm, staff can eliminate the noise with RD permission after trying to get in contact with the resident first. Items that carry sound can be used with approval of roommates and without disrupting others. Improper use of those items that make noise can be removed.
And this is because the residence hall is a place again for you to sleep and study, and this is the primary purpose, and it is non-negotiable. So this is to ensure some kind of community peace and student privacy. We don't want noise at midnight where students are trying to sleep. Some may be up typing papers. We just want it quiet in the halls during those hours, because again, students sleep and study.
Room changes. IWU has few single rooms and they are reserved for medical/mental health needs and in some cases upper division students. Double rooms will house two students. Students should expect to be assigned a roommate if they do not currently have one. Students who are requesting a room change or feel they need to move should contact their RD of that hall.
And remember, room changes are not guaranteed. RAs may help resolve some conflict initially before we move to this next level. A change may only be granted if necessary, such as the mental, medical, or if the students feel threatened at all. Going back to the second point, please make sure your residents know that if their roommate moves out at the beginning of the semester for what have you, whatever reason, they should expect another roommate, so they shouldn't get too comfortable living in that room by themselves.
Safety and maintenance. IWU staff may enter student rooms to deal with maintenance issues or address life/safety concerns. Policy violation discovered in the course of room entry will be documented.
And this is because the staff needs the flexibility to address any facility needs or emergency situations. So students are expected to be in constant compliance with these policies, regardless if they know of the entry ahead of time or not.
Security. Halls are locked 24/7. Students who identify security risks are expected to rectify the risks or report them as soon as possible. Locks are changed during breaks to ensure their security, so staff can be fully aware of who is not present in the buildings at all times.
And again, as RAs, you should be doing your rounds, checking for anything that looks out of place. So the halls are locked 24/7, meaning if you do not have a key to that hall, you cannot get into that hall without being escorted.
Okay. And during breaks, the exterior key that works normally will not be accessible to students, and they have to have a break key to get into that hall. So during breaks, all the break doors are in use. Each hall should have a designated door or doors that are break doors. Smoking in residence hall. Smoking is not allowed in residence halls or within 15 feet of any entrance. The use of electronic cigarettes, vaporizers, and related products such as hookahs are not allowed in the residence halls. Students found smoking or with this equipment may be subject to judicial referrals. Storage. Students who live more than 450 miles away from campus may store items in space that is available. Students should contact their RD. Storage has typically been located in Pfeiffer and Munsell and it's very limited on a first come, first served basis. Residents can have up to 6 labeled and shippable boxes, meaning that the boxes should be labeled with a shipping address in case a student do not come back to claim their box within a given time. They're going to be shipped to the address that's on that box in sequence order. So 6 boxes, 1 of 6. Taking care of our halls. Students must maintain rooms at certain health code standards. Students are responsible for maintaining common areas as well. No sporting activities are allowed in the halls. Hall desks have some equipment available for checkout to help with cleaning.
And this is to keep in compliance with the local health code standards to help our custodians and minimize damage. And also, we don't want any sporting activities in our hall because, again, we do have sprinkler systems in there, and students tend to get wild when they have hallway activities and sports of that nature. So we want to minimize the risk. And RAs, you as RAs, will be doing these room checks at the end of each hall closing to make sure that the rooms are in compliance with this and that they don't have any illegal items.
Tornadoes. Students must evacuate to shelter areas. Oh, I don't like how I said that.
Okay, we'll go over
Should I
it
say
again.
something? Traffic signs. Students are prohibited from having traffic signs. Basically, stolen signs are illegal, so residents cannot have any traffic signs in their residence hall room or common area. Vandalism. Cleanup of vandalism or body spills will be charged at $25 plus $25 per hour of labor.
And the first $25 covered the replacement of the cleaning materials, and the second charge is associated with labor charges. So again, it's just to replace the cleaning equipment and the labor charge.
Windows, roofs, ledges, fire escapes, attics, and elevators. Windows and screens must remain in place at all times. Students are not able to place objects or throw objects outside of the windows. Students are not allowed on roofs, ledges, fire escape, attics, or equipment/machinery rooms. Students may use elevators only for transport purposes.
And again, this is common sense or is obvious because windows provide safety and security. Fallen objects may damage persons or property that are down below. Also, we don't want you standing on roofs or ledges because it increases the risk of injury. Wait, I want to record the slide over because I said it's common sense.
You gonna make me record all
Oh, man. All right. We should probably leave the slide in there and then just have them laugh at us for a minute. You want to do it? No, let's not.
No.
No, let's do it. Let's do it.
No.
I think we should leave the slide in. Let's leave the slide in.
All right, we're gonna leave it in.
Okay, so where were we?
See, we
man.
have fun too recording this.
All right, so but yeah, basically, so again, windows provide safety and security. Again, we don't want students throwing objects outside of the windows because it can hurt people at the bottom, and we don't want you standing on ledges and things because it increases the risk of injury.
Reflection activity. Watch the following YouTube clip. Identify at least 3 policy violations/themes from the clip that are consistent with the IWU residential life policies. Discuss how you would approach the residents and how you would explain why the policy or policies exist. Thank you for watching this video. We enjoyed making it for you. So good luck on this section of the Moodle, and we'll see you soon.
Have fun.